I'd like to discuss as well additional unusual activities that this town has undertaken. As I mentioned to you before, Bill McKee, myself, and Christian Redder, we have an overwhelming desire to help the many, not the few. I will explain to you why, in our opinion, nothing has been done of any major proportion in this town in the last 30 years. I left here in high school in 1982, and nothing has happened since then. Our town used to be a powerhouse in the county, right up there with Pittsford and Brighton. Well, all of us can admit, and we all know inside our hearts, that we're falling behind other towns in necessary amenities that keep good families and good people living here. Unfortunately, many families have left this community, and many more will in the future if we don't do something about this. We all need the basic necessities to enjoy our lives like other townships do. Now, some of these things I'd like to discuss that seem quite unusual is a project this town undertook in a place called Spring Valley. Spring Valley is in East Arundecoit on Culver Road, an exclusive, rich development that's been around since the 50s. They have their own website, they have their own tennis courts, swimming pools. It's quite beautiful. Unfortunately, some of these roads are private. I'm about to show you some beautiful private roads that were repaved and some very interesting facts. You'll notice that politicians, seasoned politicians, use a phrase called fact versus fiction, fact versus fiction. Well, I'm going to give you some facts versus fiction right now, and I'm not a politician. Here's a fact for you. A road called Conifer Valley, or Conifer Lane, in Huntington Hills, at the end of Hoffman Road, was an 860-foot long road, leading to 3 homes on elevated hills. These homes were never in danger of flooding, ever. Yet this town board chose to repave and elevate that road for those 3 homes. I went to a meeting with Ms. Heyman in front of Mr. Malgieri and the rest, and the chief of police, and I asked her, is there somebody that lives on Conifer Lane, at the end of Conifer Lane, in number 125 Conifer Lane? She replied, no. I again asked her, are you sure there's not a board member on some type of town board, conservation or environmental board that lives at the end of that road? She says, no. I said, I think you're mistaken. And Marty, director of Public Works, corrected her. He pointed out, yes, we all knew. There is a person living there. Now, this printout was taken from their website today. And living there as a member, all terms good until December 31st, 2009, is Stephen Grieve. He lives at 125 Conifer Lane. Okay? Now, I asked Ms. Heyman, after she denied it 3 times, who appointed that gentleman to the board? And her response was, they did. Okay, here's his road so we can all see very clearly. Conifer Lane. Conifer, of course they put that up there by themselves because it's a private drive. What's that say right there? Private property, no trespassing, unless you have gravel and a lot of trucks. Fix our road. Okay, bottom line is they landscaped it, they cut the trees down. This place looks like an interstate in Florida. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, it's on a private drive. All they really need to do, most likely, was put some bigger tubes at the end. They tried to claim flooding problems, this and that. Well, there's towns all over Arundecoit. They have much bigger problems than that. They have sewage backing up in the basement, in their toilets, and I don't think getting your tires wet on your brand new Lexus is a big problem. These rich people at the end of this road did not need this massive highway built on their private drive, you know? And certainly not for someone who appointed to that board. Let's look at another picture. You can see they just finished this beautiful work. There's the cone right there. And you can see they decided to do all of Hoffman Road while they were at it, instead of just finishing the last 65 feet where the flooding actually occurred. And you could even see the road when it was in full flood mode. That means there was no real problem driving across there. I talked to the paper delivery gentleman who delivered for the Democrat and Chronicle there for 18 years. He said he never had a problem driving over that road. He said, sure, once in a while during a heavy rain, water would slide over the top, but he'd just drive right through it. Yet for some unexplained reason, they felt it was necessary to tie our town trucks up in labor and materials and union workers for 12 months, all told. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's quite beautiful. They did a great job. Here's the mailbox of the gentleman who lives at 125 Conifer Lane. And just ironically, there's the newspaper that's still sitting in there by the delivery gentleman. There's another road they're working on right now called Spring Valley. Of course, that's also private property. Good for them. But not very good for us. These examples I've just given you is a reason why nothing gets done in this town. It's a reason why many of us drive over potholes. It's a reason why many of us have to repair our vehicles, and our children fall down on skateboards and bicycles. Now, speaking of roads is another interesting aspect. Another person got a nice road done, not a private road, it's a public road. Her name is Mary Ellen Jones. She was an ex-politician who worked for Aronicoit, who represented this area. She lives on Thatcher Road. She also decided to go help Mary Ellen Hayman during the Democratic primary and garnered the most signatures of any volunteer. The most signatures of anyone that volunteered for her group to help her get on the ballot. Well, good for her. She finished up on June 14th or 16th I think it is. Let's see, 13. On June 14th she finished those signatures. Here's the date right there. And guess what? A few days later, they brought the trucks in and repaved her road with real asphalt. It's quite interesting. It's quite a coincidence. 3 days later, they were finished. 1 week later, it was all done. Beautiful. Unfortunately, on my road, around the corner from me, we get the oil and stone job. So as I drive over it with my beautiful pickup, it gets 1,000 small scratches in the paint, turns into a rust bucket in a short order. It's really unfortunate. These are some reasons why I'd like you to consider myself, Christian Redder, and Bill McKee. We will end this ridiculousness. We will work for you. We will be honest and open, and always consider your needs before the needs of a favored few. I did this kind of work for years in the Peace Corps. I built my own grass hut and lived in it for 2 years. I worked for free for people in need. My only goal is to bring my town forward and to help the families, the children, the elderly, and all those who have a desire to live a better life achieve that goal. We ask for your vote. We ask for your confidence. And we'd like to see you get out there and vote on September 15th for a new administration. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll move on to another one. Let's see what else is there. That one okay or no?
That was excellent.
Like that?
I think I'm going to have to go soon.
Okay, almost done. I'll let you do right now. You do yours. No, go ahead. You do yours. It's all set. Here, that's good.